Intoxicated Television, fucking special goddamn fucking episode. We are here with my man
Jcue.
J-fucking-Q. Oh, I'm so fucking excited. You have no fucking idea.
Yes, sir.
This is crazy. We've been talking about it for a while now. Fucking, hey man, welcome to Intoxicated Television.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, bro. Fuck yeah. Thanks for fucking pulling up. Fucking coming through. Holy shit.
Yeah, man.
Like, this is going to be an ongoing thing because I don't think that, I don't know when me and this guy are ever going to run out of shit to talk about.
It's a lot of shit. We've seen a lot of shit over the years.
Dude, yo, shout the fuck out Reno fucking and beyond.
Craziness.
All right, man. So how I always start is tell us about your earliest memories of music from childhood, like Baby Boy, fucking baby Jcue.
Okay.
And like your earliest memories about music and like what you remember like hearing around the house or fucking or whatever. Just
anything.
Yeah, just run with it.
Okay. So, man, when I was younger, I grew up in the 90s, obviously. I'm 32. So when I grew up, dog, like, that was, like, the time of grunge, you know what I mean? Like, Nirvana, things like that. So, obviously...
I do know. I lived through
that. Yeah, dude, you old motherfucker. No, I'm joking,
I
dude.
lived through that.
Oh, I'm joking. No, so, yeah, you know, the grunge phase, so obviously, like, and I have an older sister. So my sister, she's in her 40s now, but she, you know, when we were younger at that time, she was into all the fucking hit bands, per se, at the time. So I used to listen to a lot of like grunge at first and shit, but then it went to like a little bit heavier shit. So then I'd get into like Slayer and fucking Slipknot. I remember Slipknot's like very first album before they were even like out. Like we got the record from Tower Records.
Okay, right.
And you know, so I was really big on metal at first, but then like I would always beatbox, like, you know, just randomly making beats and shit, and like I would always do it whenever I was playing video games and stuff. Like, I played Donkey Kong, you know what I mean? And, like, the water level on Donkey Kong, bro, was just, you know what I mean? There was no drums to it, so I'd be sitting there beatboxing, and my mom would be like, shut the fuck up! You know what I mean? Because it's annoying. I'd be doing it for hours, dude, just fucking on some shit, dude. I don't know.
All right.
On something. But, yeah, man, so it went from that to eventually, like, you know, discovering fucking... During the LimeWire days and the BearShare days, I was downloading just random shit and came across Jedi Mind Tricks.
Okay.
And Jedi Mind Tricks, just like I didn't understand anything about making beats or like what rhythm was, but just like the production of their beats just caught my ear. And then from then, I just kind of dove into like hip hop, bro. You know what I mean? So like I started out early listening to like metal and things like that, and I'm kind of briefly touching on it because like I love metal, dude. I love fucking.
So I mean, we can even back up earlier. Like, what I'm trying to figure out, like, what are your earliest memories? So you said your sister, so that was like an influence or whatever. That's what she was listening to. But I mean, were your parents playing shit around the house? Like,
yeah.
Like, do you remember a song in the car when you were like a little kid and shit?
Yeah, like yeah. Okay, thank you for saying it that way. Okay, so yeah, so my mom was fucking big on like bands that I love now, but back then I thought were cheesy. So she loved REO Speedwagon.
Okay.
You know, my mom used to drop me off to work, dude, or at school, and we had the bummiest car, dog. Like it was like Uncle Buck. You know what I mean? When we pulled up to the fucking school, backfired. And literally, the woman had the windows down. I can't fight this feeling anymore. And so that was one of the songs that fucking haunted my life.
Okay.
And then, you know, my dad was big on the Doors when I was a kid.
Hold up 1 second. So, speaking of REO Speedwagon, so I'm from this little town called Wausau, Wisconsin.
Okay.
And the weatherman was brothers with one of the guys in REO Speedwagon.
So, was that like the fucking anthem for the fucking radio station?
Bro, I'm just saying, fucking like, they're a big hit in that state.
They're big everywhere, dog. Like, as I got older, I didn't realize, because I grew up like, man, fucking REO Speedwagon sucks, am I right? And it was like, no, dude, they're dope. And I'm like, what the fuck? So, you know, now I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. You know what I mean? So it's like...
So here's the levels.
Okay.
When it gets to the red, obviously.
Or peaking.
We don't want to try to fucking peak it out. It's cool. It's cool. I can't adjust the levels at this moment. Just giving you a heads up.
Okay. No
like, you can get excited. It's cool.
Okay. Be excited.
So, REO Speedwagon, you said that your dad was into the Doors, all right?
Yeah. So the Doors, a lot of Riders on the Storm, a lot of American Poet, the album, not any song in general.
Right.
My dad was a trucker too when I was a kid, man. So there was a couple times where I went on the road with him, and we were listening to music and shit. And he got me into Gordon Lightfoot.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, dude. And honestly, bro, like, rest in peace, Dad. But like the song, "The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald," hands down, I don't care what anybody says, the best song ever created. Like, that song, still to this day, like, rings memories. Obviously for other reasons now, but like, I still remember driving with my dad as a 8-year-old child, cruising through fucking Bishop and shit, and that song coming on, I was so bored being on the road with them, dude. But like, the song is about the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, which is a boat.
Right.
But he tells a story, and like, that kind of molded a little bit, like, the way I think, I guess, with music. Like, I appreciate music that has a story to tell.
Right.
So I guess that's another song, that kind of got me into it. And then
I don't know. You might have to fight. You might have to argue. You might have to have an argument with Dialect, because he said "Fast Car" is the best one.
Here in my car, is that the song?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna ban Tracy Chapman.
Oh, okay.
He said he just posted about that's the best one ever. So I don't know, man.
Hey, to each their own, man. Shout out Dialect, to each their own.
Maybe y'all gonna have to. Maybe we can have him call in someday, and you guys can like speak on it.
Yeah, I'm down to debate that one. Yeah, for sure. I have, I know the song. I don't know the lyrics really to it, but I don't or something like that. I know it. I don't know it. Not to knock the song, but every song. I mean, anyone could listen to "The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald" and be like, "What the fuck is this?" You know what I mean? But it's just. To me, it's a great song. Everything about it, the composition behind it.
All right.
It's just a great song.
Okay.
A lot of Sabbath. You know what I mean?
Fuck yeah.
So just the basic parent shit, really. My dad I got my dad into metal and shit when I was a kid. So I gamed him up on some shit. So,
All right. So you would say that Jedi Mind Tricks, would you say that would be the one that you kind of discovered by yourself and kind of put you on a path to other stuff? Or like what was the one that, like, I like to ask this question about what was the one that you kind of like discovered by yourself and you like felt like, whoa, like, this is my shit. You know what I mean? Do you have one of those? Or?
Yeah, dude, again, I was 14 years old, bro, and I just got into smoking weed, right? And, like, I got back home, and I got past my fucking grandma and my dad, and I made it in my room, and I got on LimeWire or BearShares, one of those two programs, and I'm downloading Jedi Mind Tricks, and there was this song that was labeled Jedi Mind Tricks, I Wake Up.
Okay.
And no one showed me Jedi Mind Tricks, just like no one showed me Wu-Tang Clan. I just liked the name clicked. I'm like, that sounds familiar, Wu-Tang Clan. Right. Jedi Mind Tricks, is this Star Wars? So, that's what got me into the appeal of them. And then, like, I downloaded this song on LimeWire called I Wake Up, but the song, and for years I thought it was Jedi Mind Tricks, but the song, bro, is like, again, it's just again, this is another one. I know I just gave Gordon Lightfoot the credit, so
all right.
Let me say the hip hop credit song goes to the actual artist is Royce the 5'9".
Oh, okay.
And the song's called King of Kings.
Gang.
Right? But it was labeled as Jedi Mind Tricks, I Wake Up.
Okay.
And the reason why was because the sample for the chorus is I wake up and I don't know where I am. So that just stuck with me. I was like, because I was high, dude, at the time, and, like, everything is just, everything is new, like, that point. So, like, hearing that song in, like, headphones, bro, I just kind of went to a different world, per se. like for like 10 minutes, I guess, because the song was on loop, and I just kind of snapped back, and I was like, oh, I like hip hop. Like, I like hip hop, you know what I mean? And then that just kind of sparked, you know, during those days, YouTube didn't have the recommendations and things like that. You really had to dig deep, you know what I mean? Unless you were going and buying the albums.
So that was the first one, like, you kind of discovered on your own, right?
Yeah, on my own.
So, like, what other hip hop was playing around like that you were vibing with that, and like, because obviously there must have been something else, other hip hop around for that you thought that was a cool fucking thing or something.
Yeah, like KRS-One,
all right,
Big L, things like that. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know what it was. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I just heard a bunch of sounds.
So are you hearing that shit around the neighborhood, at school? Like,
kind of around the neighborhood.
Like, people at school showing you shit. Like, oh, you gotta check this out.
I never really had that, bro. Honestly, dog, it was really exposure. It was, so that phase came, honestly, by curiosity and shit, you know what I mean? Really, like,
all right.
I guess the best way to put it is by accident, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I just stumbled across something.
Because you thought it was Star Wars?
Yeah, it was shit like that, because I'm a dork, bro. I've always been a dork. I'm a nerd, you know what I mean? So it's things like that.
Jedi mind trick.
Yeah.
I need to hear this shit.
Right, but that's like later underground hip-hop, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Obviously, I grew up listening to, like, Tupac and, like, Biggie Smalls and things like that. I grew up in L.A., so it's, like, down there, like, it was just all West Coast, so... You know, Snoop Dogg and fucking Ice Cube and fucking NWA. But then, like, also, too, and this was obviously, like, when I was really young, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I wasn't really cognizant of what that was, but I knew it because I always heard it, you know what I mean? I just wasn't paying attention like that. But it just like, I guess, just like everyone else, just the regular 90s hip-hop stuff. But, like, all that I was listening to, really, that was being played around me was, like, the gritty, grimy shit. And I thought that was normal hip-hop. And then I tried looking into it myself, and I'm like, oh, this isn't really hip-hop. You know what I mean? So,
okay.
Yeah, it's kind of all over the place with it, dog. I really don't have, like... I wish I had someone that was like, yo, you did this. I guess my sister's ex-boyfriend, Noah, which, fuck that guy. I don't mean to give him credit, but... I guess the only good thing he did was, like, show me guys like The Alchemist and Necro, because he showed me Alchemist and Necro, dog. And I didn't know who they was, dude. Okay. And I was young as fuck. Listen, Necro wants to use you. Necro could never be abused by you. You know, and not knowing what the shit was, dude, and the sexorcist, and... You know, I need drugs. When I come home from work, I'm feeling for an 8-ball. I got crack on my mind. Bro, I was young singing that shit, dude. Like, not supposed to be singing that, you know? Not knowing LL Cool J made the, I need love. I thought LL Cool J stole that from Necro.
Okay.
That's where I was at with it. So, you know, like, I guess if I got to give anyone credit, it was Noah.
Okay.
It was Noah. Shout out to Noah. Fucking bitch.
Shout out, you fucking bitch.
If you ever see it, you fucking cocksucker.
Yeah.
Dude, I beat that guy up. I was 13 years old, dude. Later on in life, I was 13 years old, and we got into it, dude. And I beat him up. I broke his nose, dog, and he cried about
Just
it, dude.
Just a disclaimer.
No, fuck this guy. He has nothing to do with it. I'm no filter Joe here.
No,
dude.
it's cool, man. I'm just like sometimes I gotta remind people like this shit's going out.
No, it's all good. This ain't nothing new. This ain't nothing new.
All right.
Years ago.
Well, damn, bro. We'll get back to that.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Okay, so you grew up in L.A.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I grew up all around LA, basically. I mean, I grew up predominantly in the San Fernando Valley, as girly Valley girl as that sounds. Like, I grew up in, like, Pacoima and Silmar and shit. Right. And, like, if you grew up down there, you know, like, that, it's not the best. Van Nuys, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, it ain't nice down there. It's not Beverly Hills. It's not Ventura Boulevard. Okay. It's like Reno, kind of. You know what I mean? That's why I feel like I kind of fit in here in Reno a little bit more.
Damn. So...
Boyle Heights, shit like that, yeah.
Yeah, wow, I didn't know that about you.
Yeah, that's where I came from.
All right, so like how long? Oh Jesus, fucking stutter, boy. How long? When did you move out here? And shit, like how did you move anywhere else?
Nah,
you came straight to Reno
yeah,
this area or
yeah. So I came. So my mom and my dad divorced when I was like 8 or 9. Or, no, about 7. And my dad and my grandma decided that they're gonna move out here. But then when they're deciding that, like my grandpa had a fucking heart attack. So like he survived it, but he was like, "Hey, I'm selling my place. Like, if you guys want to buy it, take it." So my grandma bought that, and I was bouncing back and forth basically. So like, you know, my mom had her issues and shit like that. My mom's was an addict. She's sober now, but my mom's was an addict when I was younger. So when she was going through her thing, you know, that's when I would kind of come out here with my dad and my grandma.
Okay.
And then I'd be out here, you know, for a year or two, and then I'd go back down there, and then we just kind of decided.
Oh, so like during your childhood, you were kind of bouncing back
and forth.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, from like LA to here and stuff like that. Like I graduated from elementary out here. I went to elementary from like 2nd grade to whatever 5th or 6th at Bernice Matthews. So there was a streak there when I was a kid where I was actually here for a while. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I was bouncing around whatever. You know what I mean? So
all right.
Yeah, and then like I would say at about 15, I stayed here for a while, then moved back to California and went to med school. Was trying to be a paramedic.
At 15?
No. This is what I was like. No. This is
I was like, yo, at 15 you're already a med
giving
student?
quick synapses.
Like, whoa, what the fuck?
This is the boring. I'm skipping the boring shit and just kind of going to the
I
highlights.
was like, holy shit, fucking Doogie Howser over here.
No, dude.
Fuck, man, 15 years old.
Nah,
You're in
med
like
school.
you're already in like grad school for like the whole summer and shit.
Nah,
like, whoa, what the fuck?
No, nothing like that. No, so I so like I said, I had a boring ass, you know, childhood just playing. I played World of Warcraft from like 15, dude, to like, I don't know, like 17, and then I moved to California, and then like did the med school thing, and then Mecca, and this is me leading into some other shit.
Whoa, we're jumping way too fast ahead.
Okay.
So I'm gonna bring it back.
Okay.
So, damn, growing up in that California area, which you spoke of, like, I can only imagine, like, dude, like the hip hop music that people, I don't know, man. Okay, so I grew up in the Midwest, okay? And so, like, we're kind of in the middle. Like, we only had, like, a number of people that are in our area. You know what I'm saying? And I'm old, but, like, Do or Die. We had Twista. We had fucking Debrat fucking just came out. Fucking
Do or Die though, bro.
Do or Die.
Damn.
Fucking Do or Die, bro.
Damn.
I know one of them, their members just came up with a new single. But you know what I'm saying? Like that was, we didn't have really so much. I mean, if we're talking about Detroit, I mean obviously we have.
My mom's from Detroit.
So we got ICP, we got Kid Rock, we got Eminem, but other than that, there wasn't really too much shit. But then we got, I mean, Esham, we got, what is it? What the fuck was I just gonna say? I mean, I guess obviously, this is way later, so I'm jumping ahead of myself now. But you had said about the Royce 9, that's a good segue about that. But yeah, I mean, I guess we had Kanye for a while in Chi Town. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like limited, but it's like growing up in that area in the Midwest. Like we had the best of the East. We had both sounds from East and West. Like we weren't like in a region where it's like, fuck the other side, like, fucking, this is all we do because this is our area, and fuck, like, any outsiders are not welcome and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like we had the best of both worlds, basically. So, like, I don't know. Yeah. No, that was just curious. Like, that's just, that's interesting to me that you grew up in that element where you probably weren't, unless, like you said, you eventually started looking into stuff and finding other stuff like Wu-Tang and stuff like that.
Right.
But predominantly, I imagine that most of the stuff that you're listening to out here is from your region. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
It was a weird time.
Right. So
the 90s. We're talking about the 90s. So this
right.
is right before the and then the East Coast, West Coast, and fucking all that shit. So then you really had to stick to your fucking. You know what I mean? Like,
right. So now remember in the 90s for me though, bro. Like
you were younger. Though.
I was really young. Yeah. So I wasn't involved. Like I didn't know anything about the politics of it or anything.
Yeah.
Like that, you know what I mean? So like. When I guess like, because I don't because not to jump ahead with anything like that, but in California, you know, like the music scene down there, like I was aware of it because like at that point, like I started making music when I was 13, right?
Okay.
And I was,
let's. I mean, that's a good place to start.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Right. So
you said, I don't mean to cut you off,
okay.
but you said. Jedi Mind Tricks fucking, and then you found out it was Royce, and then you fucking were like, so that's around the same age, and then so how did that happen? Like,
so basically hearing those, you know, those sounds and the samples, you know what I mean? Because like that's what really caught my ear was sampling. At that time, like I was saying earlier, YouTube was YouTube was owned by two dudes that were college students that were literally living in like a basement or some shit. You know what I mean? Like before they sold it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So YouTube was like, it was big, but it wasn't as big as it is today. So, but people were uploading videos for various different things. So I came across this video of this dude named Arab Child. Now Arab Child came to be Arab Music.
Okay.
And we all know Arab Music as the fucking pad master, you know what I mean? The crazy shit. So at that time, he was doing that, but he wasn't signed to Dipset yet.
Okay.
So he was just making beats. And I remember watching his videos on a shitty ass quality camera, and like the angle that he had was so bad, but I could tell that he had KRK Rocket speakers because they had the yellow fucking boom area.
Okay.
And he had the MPC 1500, I believe, or the 2500, if I'm not mistaken. One of those two. And he was doing the live drumming on it, doing his fucking brrr, and I'm just like, what the fuck is that, dude? You know what I mean? So at that time, I'm Googling music on pads, blah, 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 blah. So I found this thing called the Chaos Pad, bro. So for like a year, I was walking around telling people I want to use the Chaos Pad, blah, 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 blah. And I talked to this one dude that was like, yo, a Chaos Pad is for DJing. It makes your music go... And I'm like, no, that's not it. Like, it has pads. And he's like, no, that's an MPC.
Right.
And so I got corrected, and like I just became obsessed, dude, for fucking like a year or two after that, and like watched YouTube videos of people making beats. And there's like these dudes named... there's this one dude named Boondock. Boondock, I still think is active on Face or MySpace. I'm sorry, but YouTube to this day. But he was another one. There's another guy named Don V, and all these dudes were pad slappers. But Don V was like a rolling MV guy. So, anyways, he just kind of did his own thing, or they just did their own things. And I was like, let me try. So, shout out to my sister. My sister bought me an MPC for I can't remember. I think it was my 14th birthday or something.
That's dope, man.
Yeah, and it was and the MPC she bought it from. Now this is where California comes in dope. I was talking shit about Ventura earlier.
All right.
But Ventura is home to the celebrity, bro. Basically, like my neighbors when I lived there were like Eddie Murphy and fucking Jay Leno and Van Halen.
Your neighbors?
My neighbors, bro. Yeah, my neighbors. Like,
I thought you just said it wasn't no bougie shit.
So no, okay. Listen,
I'm like, whoa!
I'm skipping.
How did
ahead.
we get over here?
Okay, so listen, I'm jumping back and forth. So like I said, I grew up in Van Nuys.
Oh my god!
Van Nuys is not nice. Later in life, when we got ahead of ourselves,
holy shit!
Listen, when we got ahead of ourselves later in life, we got to move up to Ventura for a little bit because we had the pleasure of whatever. And so at the house that I was living at out there, my neighbors was fucking Jay Leno, Eddie Murphy.
Your neighbor was fucking Jay Leno?
Oh, dude, you know what the fuck I'm talking about, motherfucker.
Come on, man, it's Intoxicated Television, man. I gotta fucking poke at my guests and shit sometimes and shit.
I'm just saying. So yeah, so that was then. I lived off of Coldwater Canyon, bro, off of Ventura and Coldwater.
All right.
So there was celebrities and shit
man,
up there.
I'm gonna fuck with you.
I know you're good. You're good.
We're gonna have a lot.
You're good.
We're gonna have a lot. We're gonna have a lot of conversations, my guy. Fucking, you're gonna have to take a little couple of fucking. I know you're gonna give it to me too, man. I know you got a lot of shit to talk about, so it's
No,
all good.
I just don't want to lose my train of thought on it. So, because people are
My
probably
bad.
thinking like, "Yo, this guy's all over the place."
My
But
bad. No,
you're
all
good.
right.
So
All
what,
right.
what I was saying though is that no, man, so my sister bought the MPC from some dude named Bruce Farrat,
Okay.
and Bruce Farrat, we didn't know, is like a legend, dude. Like this guy, like it makes NPCs, the roll-ins, everything's like he does his fucking shit. You know what I mean? But we didn't know him.
Okay.
And an amazing guy, bro. You know what I mean? Worked with my sister on the price. Like he wanted an X amount of money for it. They settled on a way lower amount because she told him like, "Hey, this is for my brother who wants to get into it." Anyways, dude, I got the NPC. And
Dude, that's so tight too, man.
yeah, man. And so like still to this day, like, you know, I haven't talked to Farrat in probably like 4 or 5 years, but like it was still one of those things to where like if I had questions about the NPC, he knew everything there was about it. The man is a genius. So Bruce Farrat, if anyone's watching and does their fucking the NPCs or any sort of fucking MIDI keyboard, dude, Bruce Farrat is the dude that can not only customize it but can fix anything wrong, and I'm willing to bet any fucking money on that. Like Bruce Farrat, Google the guy. He's the dude.
Shout out.
Yeah, he's the dude. I will give him the shout out, no problem.
There you go, man.
So I got the NPC, dog, and anybody that knows how to use like an NPC or has used one, especially the old ones with the LCD screen that's like this big, no color except like a backlight, it's very intimidating, dog. And you turn it on, and there's no nothing that tells you like, hey, you have to upload a sound from a SCSI drive, a zip drive, which is this the disc drive, the discs alone, bro, are like this big and like that thick, and you plug it into this fucking drive, and it's all and it has your fucking drums on there and shit. Now, when I was doing this, there was other things that were already out that were making it way easier, like Fruity Loops and things like that.
All right.
But I was obsessed with analog, not knowing what analog was. I didn't know the terminology of it. You know what I mean? So
Fair.
So I started fucking with this beat machine, dude, for, you know, a couple of months, whatever, and I finally got to the point to where I could upload shit and I could I could put drums into the banks, and then I could hook it to some turntables and sample some shit. So forever, bro, I just sat there just drumming like fucking Arab music because I saw him doing that, and I thought the MPC was a drum machine. Okay. I didn't know it was a music production center. It was a drum machine. That's what MPC stands for, music production center. So
Gotcha.
I was, you know, for years and years, I just ba. So I got good at finger drumming. You know what I mean? Which nowadays, when you finger drum nowadays, people are like, yo, what the fuck? You know what I mean? But
I've seen your videos. I know what you do.
Right, so you know what I'm saying? So it's like, to me, it's just normal because, like, that's what I thought the machine was made to do. But guys like Arab, and there's tons of other dudes now, they just invented a new way of using that machine. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure there was guys that were doing it before Arab music, but to my knowledge, I don't know. You know what I mean? And I'm not taking anything away from any of those guys. And I'm sure producers who are watching this are like, this guy Jcue does not know what he's talking about. And it's like, I don't know anything that I'm talking about. I'm just speaking on my behalf. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, man, like,
I bet the fuck he does.
But I appreciate that, dude. But
now, okay, so we got less than 2 minutes, man. So like, we're gonna have to come back.
Okay.
Did you want to leave it on an end note? In this conversation, and then we'll pick right back up.
Yeah, so the beats, yeah, I don't know. I just lost it, kind of.
I lose it all the time.
I lost it.
Intoxicated fucking television. We will be right back with our fucking special goddamn guest of the motherfucking day. Fucking, we got Jcue up in this motherfucker. Subscribe, tell your fucking moms and your grandma. Cheers. One.